the coplanar strip lines in the previous class. We have started with it. We know that there are two strips of width W, and they are separated by a distance of S, and they are being grounded. One of the strip has to be grounded. That is what the process is, and you have the dielectric substrate is mu d epsilon d, and the strip thickness is or the dielectric substrate is separated by a distance of d, so that while it is possible to define this coplanar strip lines. So further, we have to know the characteristic impedance of a coplanar strip line, and the characteristic impedance of a coplanar strip line is given as 2 p average divided by I naught square, and this is what you're going to get. This is the characteristic impedance of a coplanar strip line, and is defined as 2 p average divided by I naught square, where I naught is the total peak current of one strip, and P average is the average power flowing through the strip. So these are the very basic equations for coplanar strip line. That is the characteristic impedance Z0, that is 2 P average divided by I naught square. So all of you have drawn this figure in the previous class itself, I hope so. All of you have completed the figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So write the equation for the characteristic impedance. It's very simple equation to find out the characteristic impedance. That is 2 P average divided by I naught square. I naught is the total peak current, and P average is the average power flowing through the coplanar strip line. So we have the equation here as 2 P average divided by I naught square. So for P average, we have a separate equation which defines like this: 1 by 2 real part of integration of Ex cross Hy conjugate uz dx dy. So Ex is electric field intensity in the positive x direction, and Hy is magnetic field intensity in the positive y direction. And conjugate star mark indicates the conjugate. So you can just note down these things. So we have, if we substitute the P average in the equation for Z0, we get 2 of that complete equation divided by I naught square. So P average is given as half of Re integral of Ex cross Hy conjugate uz dx dy. So Ex is called as the electric field intensity in the positive x direction, and Hy is called as the magnetic field intensity in the positive y direction. And the star indicates the conjugate. So you can just note down these things. So these are straightforward equations. We are writing it. We are not worried about the equation being derived. We are directly writing the equation for Z0, and we are specifying the P average as well. As you know that P average is the average power flowing through the coplanar strip line. So you can just note down the equations for Z0 and P average. So these equations can be used further. So one problem we will do based on this, that is to find out the Z0. So if it is P average power is given, so it will be very easy to find out Z0. Just you can use P average divided by 2 into P average divided by I naught square. So let us see one small problem. A coplanar strip line carries an average power. So write down this problem. Let us try to solve it. A coplanar strip line carries an average power of 250 milliwatt and a peak current of 100 milliampere. Determine the characteristic impedance of the coplanar strip line. So it's very easy for you to do it. Very simple equation. So here it is given that average power is already given for you, and current is also given for you. So it's very easy to find out the characteristic impedance. So it's a very simple equation you can use, and you can find out that. So write down this problem. It's just a simple substitution. Only thing is that you should know that it is 2p divided by p average divided by I naught square. So this equation you need to use it and do it. Calculate it, and let us see that what is the answer for that. So what is the answer you're going to get? So what answer you're going to get here?
0.05 micro ohm, sir.
Yeah, use the very easy equation. No, you have to substitute it. You have to take square of that. You missed out anywhere any value. So it is 50 ohm it will come. Z naught is, check it out once, 2 into 250 into 10 to the, it is milliwatts. So into 10 to the power of minus 3, 100 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square. So while calculating it, you can just, no need of calculator. You can do it without calculator also. You'll get 50 ohm. Have you got 50 ohm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will get coplanar stripline characteristic impedance as Z naught is 2 P average by I naught. Substitute P average as 250 into 10 to the power of minus 3, and I naught is 100 into 10 to the power of minus 3 square, whole square. So you'll get it as 50 ohm. So this is very easy calculation. So now further we will move on to the shielded strip lines. So you can just see that we are going to discuss about the shielded strip line. So write down shielded strip line. All of you complete that problem. Yeah, so write down the new topic, that is shielded strip lines. So what you can understand here is the shielded strip line has now, before explaining that, I'll just show you the figure of shielded strip line. Then we will go with the explanation of that. It will be easier for you to understand. So just a minute. So this is how it will be. So shielded, by the name itself, it is very much clear that it is being covered by the dielectric substrate. So this is the strip being placed in between. So you can see that this is the strip, and just you can see that these are the dielectric substrates which are just available, which is surrounding this strip. So it is not like before what you have seen here. The strip is completely enclosed in the dielectric substrate. So what you can see here is the electric and magnetic fields will be surrounding the strip, will be in the dielectric space itself. So in the previous case, we were saying that it is quasi TEM because of the fields are being surrounded in the dielectric space as well as in the air. But in the case of this, you can see that in the shielded strip line, you have the strip being surrounded completely by the dielectric material. So it is not having any contacts with the air space. So that is what you can see here. The shielded strip line has its own strip conductors of width W and greater than its thickness T, and is embedded in the dielectric medium. So this is very important. So it's completely embedded into the dielectric medium, and its top and bottom are ground planes. So it is having both the top portion and bottom portion ground planes, and this is what you can see. So entire strip, whatever you are having in the shielded strip line, is surrounded by the dielectric medium. And what is the impact of that is the electric fields and magnetic fields will be surrounding within the strip, will move around in the dielectric space itself, and there will be no further formation of quasi TEM mode of operation. But in the previous cases, in parallel microstrip and all those things, we have seen that there is a formation of quasi TEM mode of operation, because the electric and magnetic fields, half of them will be in the air space and half will be in the dielectric space. So but in the shielded strip line, you have the entire strip being placed in the center, and the complete dielectric medium will be surrounding to it. So and you have at the top and bottom you have the ground planes. So this is called as the shielded strip line, and it is having a width of W and a thickness of T. So this is what you can just note down these things. We will go with further explanation with the help of figure. So all of you just note down the last topic of this half of the module. Then we'll be moving on to the antennas part, where we'll be discussing about antennas and all those things. So few more problems we will do before entering to antennas. So shielded strip line has a strip conductor of width W and much greater than the thickness T, embedded in a dielectric medium, and its top and bottom ground planes have no connection as in figure. So you can see that in the figure. So we'll see the figure as well. So just another 2 minutes, 5 minutes I'll take, and then we will stop it. So all of you have completed this. Complete this write-up. Have you all completed the write-up? So these are some of. Is it over? We'll switch on to the next page.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this you can see with the help of a figure. So you can see that this is two ground planes. These are the two ground planes. And as I have told you that this is the entire dielectric material being placed. These are all full entire dielectric material. So this strip is completely surrounded by the dielectric material, and you can see that here this is the strip being placed of width W and thickness T, and the dielectric length will be D. D is the thickness of the dielectric material, and this is the ground plate. So the electric field lines will be moving in and around the substrate. So it will be within the dielectric material. So you can draw this figure. So you can draw this figure. You can just mark this W. This T is the thickness. D is the thickness of the dielectric slab. This is the ground plane and electric fields and magnetic fields. So this is epsilon RD, epsilon R, that is low loss dielectric substrate. So this dotted lines, you can see that it is the magnetic fields, and the other side sections you can see that it is the electric field. So the mode of operation is here it is not quasi TEM. You should be very much specific when you are writing. The mode of operation is TM wave, where the electric field lines are perpendicular to the strip and are concentrated at the center of the strip. So the electric field lines are perpendicular to the strip and concentrated at the center of the strip. So the field lines also exist at the edges, and this small letter d is less than half of the wavelength, and the fields cannot propagate in the transverse direction. So we will just draw this figure. These explanations we'll discuss it again in the next class. So all of you can draw this figure, and few explanations you write it down. We will continue it further with the shielded strip lines with few equations and few problems. So all of you draw that figure, and you can just note down these few points. So all of you have completed drawing this figure. Have you completed drawing this figure?
No.
Okay, complete. So the main thing is what you can understand here is the mode of operation is TM, and the way where the electric fields are perpendicular to the strip of and are concentrated at the center of the strip, and also the field lines also exit at the edges. So you can see those things. It is within the dielectric material of width D, and so all those explanations we'll see. Seen that here the strips will be placed in between the dielectric, inside the dielectric space, and the width will be W and thickness will be T, and the entire strip will be placed within the dielectric material. So that's what you have also seen the figure for that, where you have seen that the ground plane it is there, and the center portion is the strip line, followed by the magnetic and electric fields surrounding to that, and then you have seen also the ground planes at the top and bottom, and the dielectric medium is separated by a distance d. So this is because of this we know that in the previous all the cases we have said that it is quasi TEM mode of operation, but in this case we call it as TEM mode of operation. So this is the TEM mode of operation. What you can see here, all these things we have been discussing in the previous class. So have you written this explanation? Some of you might have completed. I will just explain it. Further, you can complete the write-up. Okay. So what you can see is here the mode of operation is transverse electric and magnetic mode of operation, that is TEM wave, because the entire electric and magnetic fields will be surrounded within the dielectric material itself. So where the electric field lines are perpendicular to the strips and concentrated at the center of the strips. That is why we call it as a TEM wave of operation. And the field lines also exist at the edges, where when D is less than half of the wavelength, D is called as the that material, dielectric material. So D is the dielectric material thickness. So that D, when it is less than half of the wavelength, the field cannot propagate in transverse direction and is attenuated exponentially. So that is what it is going to happen. So when the D is half of the wavelength, if it is if this D parameter, this is the D from here to here, that is D is less than the wavelength, then what it is going to happen is less than half of the wavelength, the field cannot propagate in transverse direction and the attenuation exponent is attenuated exponentially. And one more point, what you can see here is the commonly used materials for this are Teflon, polyfine, and polystyrene. These are some of the materials used for the manufacturing of this strip lines, shielded strip lines, and the operation frequency or the operating frequency, which you know that it is most probably in very high frequency, and it ranges from 100 megahertz to 30 gigahertz. So especially you may have the design above 1 gigahertz only. If any cases slightly here and there, that can also be done. So this is what the shielded strip lines are mainly consist of. So you have seen that you have ground planes at the top and bottom, and you have the dielectric materials around it, and the center you have the shield placed. So this is what it has a TEM mode of operation, and these are some of the things which we have discussed, like the D, what is the width of that dielectric material is less than half of the wavelength, then the field cannot propagate in the transverse direction and is attenuated exponentially. So it is, you have to see that the D is maintained as per the requirement, not less than half of that. So if it is there, attenuations will take place. Okay, and the material used for this are Teflon and polystyrene and all those kind of things. And the operating frequency for the design can be considered from 100 megahertz to 30 gigahertz. So these points you can note down, and then we will continue with the characteristic impedance equation for shielded strip lines. So just note down these things. So try to note down faster, and then we will proceed with the rest of the equations. Once you complete it, just respond to me so that I can move further with the characteristic impedance equation to find out the characteristic impedance of a shielded strip line. So all of you should study all these things. So you will be having all these topics for your second IA. So it will be in the last week of this month. So don't waste your time. So much of materials also I have put in files, you can see. And one more thing, you might have received the library link where you can just browse through the question papers and some of the materials and all, go through all those things so that it will be useful for you. if you find anything useful, you can just send in the group as well, so that it will be helpful for everyone. So is that completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So further, we will just see the characteristic impedance of the strip line. If anyone has not completed, just respond to me. I will wait for another 1 more minute. If all of you have completed, we'll proceed further. So here we will see the equations for the characteristic impedance of a strip line of thickness. So what you can see here is the characteristic impedance is denoted as Z0, and for a zero strip thickness. So what you can see here is the W by D ratio you need to find, and the W by D ratio, if it is less than 0.5, if you can get W by D ratio as less than 0.5, then you can say that it is a zero strip thickness material, and you can try to find out the characteristic impedance using this equation, that is Z0 is equal to 30 divided by root of epsilon r ln 2 into 1 plus root k divided by 1 minus root k. So it will be because you are going to find out the characteristic impedance. So you have to first find out the W by D ratio, and it should be less than 0.5, so that this equation will hold good for the characteristic impedance. So this is the equation to find out the characteristic impedance of a shielded strip line for zero strip thickness, and it is given as Z0 is equal to 30 divided by root of epsilon r ln 2 into 1 plus root k divided by 1 minus root k. So if you have to write down the equations and all, you can just unmute and say that, sir, I have to stop for a minute so that you can complete it. So if one more case is there, this is what we are going to see is W by D less than 0.5. So you can see that if it's not that every time you will get the W by D ratio less than 0.5. If you are getting it, this equation holds good for that. But if W by D ratio goes beyond 0.5, so it's very important for you to do it. Before doing anything, you have to find out which equation you have to use in problems and all. So it's very important to find out the W by D ratio, and you should not get mixed up with that. So you should use the precise equation for the problems and all. Here you have to also specify that when it is less than equal to 0.5, it is the first equation, and when W by D ratio is greater than 0.5, you will get it as 30 pi square divided by root of epsilon r ln 2 into 1 plus root k dash divided by 1 minus root k dash. So we'll have another one more equation for k dash. So we'll see that equation. So where k is called as, this is the equation, sec h pi w by 2d, and k dash, you have another equation for k dash. So k, you have this equation, that is sec h pi w by 2d, and k dash will be root of 1 minus k square, or when you substitute and simplify it further, you will get it as tan h pi w by 2d. So k dash is tan h pi w by 2d, and k is sec h pi w by 2d. So you may have to find out all these parameters when you are finding out the characteristic impedance of a shielded strip line. So you can note down these equations. As I have told you, in this module, you have seen almost 25 to 30 equations. Please note down these equations in a sheet of paper separate, so that it will be helpful for you to study and understand these things better. So you should do that. Okay, most of you should do that. At least write this equation to 1 or 2 times and practice it. And because if you are good with understanding these equations, you will get full marks out of this module. Okay, there is no marks which can be lost in this module because it is all straightforward questions. You can even see the university question papers where you have all straightforward questions from this module. So and all the problems also, they are not going to have anything different. We have solved around 5 to 10 problems already. So all those things will be easy for you to score. And then if you have completed, we will move further. So all of you have written the equation for Z naught for W by D less than or equal to 0.5 and Z naught for W by D greater than 0.5 and the equation for K and K dash. Is that completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us proceed further. If we have one more case here to study, that is for non-zero strip thickness. Non-zero strip thickness, that is W by D less than means greater than 0.035. So if that is the case, if it goes greater than 0.35, then the characteristic impedance for a non-zero strip thickness is given by using this equation. So we will be using these different types of equation in different problems. So you'll be able to understand that where you have to use this specific. So it's very important for you to find out the W by D ratio when you get a problem to identify which equation you have to use here. So the characteristic impedance for a non-zero strip thickness is given as 94.15 divided by root of epsilon r Wk by D plus Cf divided by 8.854 epsilon r, and here the equation for K is given as 1 divided by 1 minus T by D. So here you are going to study almost 5 equations new. So please remember these equations for all these terms. And T, you know that it is the thickness of the strip. So already you have seen that T, and you know that terms. So CF is a new term for you. It is called as the fringe capacitance. So it's very important for you to understand the each term. But you can see that already this equation is a bit complicated, where you have 94.15 root of epsilon r into Wk by D plus Cf by 8.854 epsilon r whole inverse. So but for CF, we have another one more equation to study. So for CF, it is called as a fringe capacitance. It is picofarad per meter unit. So for to find out fringe capacitance, you need to find out the fringe capacitance and then substitute it in the equation. So first you have to find this out, and then you have to substitute here. So that is how you have to go for it. So it will be like a bigger problem to solve when it is asked in the question paper. Okay, so you need to substitute, find out CF and then substitute in the equation to find out the characteristic impedance. So CF is called as a fringe capacitance, and it can be written using this equation. So you can see that CF can be written as 8.854 epsilon r and divided by pi, or multiplied by 2k ln k plus 1 minus k in minus 1 in brackets. So ln k square minus 1. So here you have to be very careful when you are doing in the calculator. So how you will be proceeding further if a problem comes for you in this way, you may write the equation first for Z naught, the basic equation, and then you have to go for finding out K value, because T and D may be given for you. So T is the thickness and D is the thickness of that dielectric material. So all those things will be given for you. You go and find out K. Once you find out K, it's next to responsibility to find out the capacitance. So that is fringe capacitance. Complete that CF, and once you complete the fringe capacitance, then you will need to substitute in this equation for Z0, and rest of the values will be known to you. You need to find out the characteristic impedance. So it will be a good enough to solve, but most of the students make mistake while doing in the calculator, not in substitution. They miss out the brackets, like you can see here, minus of all the terms. So if you don't put brackets properly, the things will go wrong. So you have to be very careful with respect to those things. So all of you note down these equations. If you have completed, then we will proceed further. So I will wait for a minute so that you write down these equations, whatever is required for you, and then we will continue further. So with respect to assignments, I have put Saturday as the deadline, so you can all submit that. And quizzes have been conducted, so you can complete it. I can see that around 5 more students are there left out. You can just attempt to those things. So is that clear for you till fringe capacitance, equation for fringe capacitance? So we have written all straightforward equation. Is that clear for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will continue further. You have completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, so you can see few more things here. That is fringe capacitance. You have found out by using the equation CF and using this equation, where you have K to find out what that is 1 by 1 minus T by D. And as you know that D is the distance between the two ground plane or the space where the dielectric material is available. So this one you have to just understand here. This is the thickness T of is of the order of it is told like the thickness T will be between 1.5 to 3 mils. This unit is not that common for you, so I have just written it. 1 mil means it is 10 to the power of minus 3 inch. If you are finding out or you need any conversion of such, so 1 mil is called as 10 to the power of minus 3 inch. And so further we will just note down these things. The wavelength is lambda naught by epsilon r. So these equations we'll be using it in problems and simplifying it. So these are the equations to find out the characteristic impedance of a shielded strip line. So you can see that from the beginning we have been writing the characteristic impedance of a micro strip line, characteristic impedance of a parallel strip line, as well as for the coplanar, and now we have also completed for shielded strip line. We have to solve some problems here. We'll do that. Is that completed?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, fine. All of you have completed? Anyone is still writing? All of you have completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will go ahead to see that how this can be done further. So we have got some of the equations and fringe capacitance equation for the value to find out K, and also we have found out the equations for characteristic impedance. All these equations, we have the equation for wavelength, then all these things we know, and now we will just use these things in the upcoming problems to simplify it. So losses in strip line, we have some losses to be understood before going to the problems. So there are in loss for a low loss dielectric substrate, the attenuation factor in the strip line arises from conductor losses, and here W is greater than 2 times of D, and T should be less than D by 10. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the loss can be calculated. That is alpha C. Alpha C is the attenuation factor, and it can be calculated as RS divided by Z naught D pi into W by D ln 4D by pi T and ln 2 plus pi W by 2D. Its unit will be Nepers per unit length. It will be hard to remember many equations. That is only the challenge of this module. And these are this equation you have already studied before. That is RS is equal to root of pi f mu by sigma. So now we will be finding out the characteristic impedance of a strip line by solving few problems. So you can complete it and then note down this first problem where you can find the characteristic impedance. So complete it first. So here two equations are there, that is attenuation factor and RS is the resistance. So you can see that you have the equations for that, and to find out the losses. So you can use these equations when you are doing any problems. So most of the cases, problems will be asked, or we ask the. Sometimes we may ask you to explain parallel strip lines and shielded or coplanar strip lines, or we will try to give problems so that these equations need to be used, and you need to substitute the values for that. So all of you can note down this problem and try. First thing what you have, I want you to do is try to find out which equation you should use first. So you should understand that which equation has to be used. You should be very careful. Here some critically defined terms are there. So you can see that this one we have studied for zero strip thickness, and this is for non-zero strip thickness. This is very important. This non-zero strip thickness. This is for zero strip thickness. Okay, you should see all those things. So you should be very careful when doing it. You should read each line properly. So the question is to find out the characteristic impedance. So what is that? The shielded strip line has the following parameters. That is, the dielectric constant is given as epsilon r is equal to 2.56. Width is given as 25 mils. T is given as 114 mils. See, everything is in mils, so don't need to worry about it. Okay. So D is equal to 70 mils. So since all the units are in same mils, so no problem, no need to go behind knowing what it is conversion and all those things. So what they have asked you to find out is calculate the K factor. You need to do that. Then you have to find out the fringe capacitance, and and then the characteristic impedance. So it is very much understood. If I would have asked you only to find out the characteristic impedance, still you may have to find out the K factor and fringe capacitance. So it's just asked one by one. So it is finally you need to find out the characteristic impedance. So first thing is the K factor. So if any one of you got the K factor, you can just let me know. So, yeah, any answer? So any one of you got the answer for K? This much time is required to find out K. What is the answer for K? Annapurna, what is the answer for K? Harshita, Mala, Chandan, Ravi Teja, what is the answer for K? Still doing? Are you still doing it? Still you're doing it? Or you have any, which is the equation you have used to find out K first of all?
Sir, K is equal to secant H pi W divided by 2D.
No. That is what I am saying you. You should see the question properly. What all things are given? Shear strip line has following parameters. That is the dielectric constant is given as epsilon r. W is given. T is given. That. Uh, Find out that here it is clearly told K factor. So what is the K factor you have studied? No, just no. This K factor is this equation you need to use here. 1 divided by 1 minus T by D. So it is very easy. So it is 1 minus T by D inverse. You need to find out W by D. You have to you are not studied these things today only we took no. So W by D greater than 0.35 and it is a non-zero strip thickness. So you have to use for this. That's the reason they have asked you to find out the K factor, fringe capacitance. When it is clearly in the question, when they have asked you to find out the fringe capacitance, it is understood that this is the equation you have to use. You see the previous equation. Is there any fringe capacitance available? No. So these are the equations you have to use. So the equation what you have to use is 1 minus T by D inverse. So you got 1.25?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fringe capacitance, you have the equation. Write down that equation and do it. Fringe capacitance, CF 8.854 divided by pi epsilon r 2k ln. Here I will say you clearly that substitute properly, use the calculator also properly. So brackets, don't miss out the brackets, okay? So 8.854 by pi epsilon r 2k ln k plus 1 minus k minus 1 in brackets ln k square minus 1 in brackets. Whole term you should put it in brackets. So I have clearly put the brackets. So when you substitute in calculator, put those brackets properly. So K you got it as 1.25. So you can just substitute and find out.
Sir, is it 15.66?
Yeah. 15.61 correct answer. So you will get it as CF as 8.854 into 2.56 divided by 3.1416. If you, since you got CF, no, you can find out the next one, Z0, okay? So multiplied by 2 into 1.25 ln 1.25 plus 1 minus 1.25 minus 1 ln 1.25 square minus 1. So you'll get it as 15.61 picofarad per meter. So after doing it, next step is to find out the characteristic impedance. So I am saying you clearly read the question properly. When in this module, okay, you may see that even problems may be almost similar, but read the question properly. So you need to find out Z0. So CF is CF you have calculated, K you have calculated, equation for Z0 you know. So the characteristic impedance or Z0 is given by using this equation. So CF you substitute it, substitute the value of CF and substitute the value of WD, all those parameters K and R, and simplify it. So you'll get 94.15 divided by root of 2.56 multiplied by 25 divided by 70 into 1.25 plus 15.61 divided by 8.854 into 2.56 whole bracket inverse. So that is very important. Don't miss out the brackets. See, if you are putting the brackets properly, there is no chance of getting an error. So that is the only thing which I will suggest you from the beginning in antennas or any subject, microwave antenna and all those things. When you do it, don't do calculation mistakes.
Sir, 51.83, sir.
51.83, sir.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's correct. Let me once check it out. 50.29 you will get. You are very close to that. So you will get 50.29 ohms. So Z0. So those who have completed, you can just note down this problem. So here you can just think of which equation to be used and how to proceed with it. We will be solving this problem in the next class, but you can note down this question. Here what it is, the width of width W of a copper strip line conductor 0.266 centimeter, D is 0.32 centimeter, dielectric constant of the substrate epsilon r is 2.195. Find the characteristic impedance Z0 of the strip line assuming negligible thickness. So clearly it is told that assuming negligible thickness. So you need to find that characteristic impedance. So you need to find W by D ratio. I'll just brief you. You can do this problem. First, you need to find W by D ratio, and K dash is equal to tan H pi W by D, and then you have to proceed with finding out Z0 and all those things. So as of now, you can just note down this problem. By this, we will stop it here for today. You can all write that question and try solving that problem. We will stop here for today. Okay, thank you. All of you complete that question. Thank you.